Hello, and welcome to a Sudoku special. Today, we have a puzzle that I pulled off of the Cracking the Cryptic Sudoku Testing Submissions channel, and it's funny, it's the last puzzle that's posted on the channel. It was posted about an hour ago, but the reason I pulled it up is because it has a very similar rule set to a puzzle that we saw. I guess let's say the other day. So I'll post a link to that there. It was a puzzle from Codec, and it involved looking at prime number cages, and that is what Fool on Hill did with their unique primality puzzle. So we have normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits in a cage may not repeat and sum to a prime number. One is not prime. No two cages have the same total. So, what is a prime number? Well, as I explained in the previous video, a prime number is a number that is only divisible by 1 and itself, as opposed to a composite number that can be multiplied to using other digits. So, the example I gave is 5, right? 5 is only divisible by 5 and 1, at least with, whole numbers. Obviously, 2 and 2.5 work, but that's not what we're talking about when we're talking about prime numbers. In the opposite sense, we have our composite numbers, right? Like 6. So 6 is divisible by 1 and 5, but it's also, or sorry, 1 and 6, but it's also divisible by 2 and 3. So because of that, it is not prime. And actually, 6 is an even number. Every even number besides 2 is actually not prime because it'll always be divisible by 2, right? But 2 is not only is it the only even prime digit, but it's also the lowest or prime number, but it's also the lowest prime number because, as Fool on Hill points out, 1 is not in fact prime. Even though you would think, well, 1 is made up of 1 in itself. Well, then it's not 1 in itself. It's not two different things. It's only one thing. 1 is made up of one thing as opposed to the rest. Rambling aside there, no two cages have the same total says that once we identify that this is, let's say, we're using 5 as our example, if we say that this is the 5 cage, then this could not also be 5 over here because then they would have the same prime total. Then, digits separated by a white dot are consecutive. Not all dots are given. So here we have a consecutive dot. Here we have a consecutive dot. What does that actually mean? Well, consecutive just means they have a difference of 1 or they follow one after the other. So 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, so on and so forth up the line are all possible consecutive pairs. And the fact that not all dots are given tells us that just because there's no white dot here doesn't mean that this can't be a consecutive pair, or just because there's no white dot here doesn't mean this can't be a consecutive pair either. Then finally, we have row 8, column 8, right here, is less than any of the orthogonally adjacent, that means they share a side, digits. So this is a minimum cell. This will be the minimum of these 4 digits here. And that's it. Those are the rules. Let's just jump right into it. All right. So I guess actually it's very silly. I'm realizing the mistake I made in the previous puzzle was not having like a list of prime numbers next to me. So let's actually make a list of prime numbers real quick so I'm not sitting here fumbling about and then I'll take a screenshot or something. So for our we'll use the corner mark. For our zeros, right, our single digit numbers, we have 2, 3, 5, and 7. For our tens, we have 11, 13, and again, I'm just skipping over the evens because, as we said, evens besides 2 are not going to be prime. So 1, 3, 15 isn't going to work. 17, 19, 20, 21, 23, 25, 27, 29, then 30, 31, 35, 37. I guess also any of the fives aren't going to work just in general because anything above 5, anything that ends in 5 will be divisible by 5. Another thing to note, 31, uh, yeah, sorry, 31, 37, and then 39 is divisible by 3, and finally 40, 41, 43, and we won't go higher. The reason we won't go higher is because not no two cages have the same total, and we are or sorry, digits in a cage may not repeat. Sorry, digits in a cage may not repeat, and we know that in a sum of 1 to 9, that is 45. So the maximum size, actually, I guess the maximum size couldn't be a 9-cell cage because 45 isn't prime. So the maximum size cage we can have is an 8-cell cage, so only prime numbers less than 45 will be allowed in this Sudoku. So this is kind of our prime number guide. I will take a screenshot of this here. I've never taken a screenshot while at least I don't think I have while I'm trying to record. So we'll see how that turns out. And then in the snipping tool on my computer, I can start to like cross out digits as we place them. So how many prime numbers do we actually need to make in this puzzle now that we're 2.5 minutes in and haven't even actually thought about the puzzle? We need to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We need to make 14 prime numbers in this grid. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 6. So we have 14 prime numbers that we need to make, and we have 14 prime numbers that we can use. So that means every single one of these prime numbers will actually be used. It's not even like, oh, if we not mark off a 3, then, we still don't know what we're doing. It is exactly this set that I have here off to the side. So if that's the case, then this has to be 2. That's the first digit, which I will mark off, because if that isn't 2, then how do you make 2 in multiple cells? You can't. There's no way. You'd need 1 and 1, and that's not possible. Or I guess 2 and 0, but thank heavens Fool on a Hill didn't let us use zeros in this puzzle. So now the next question is, what are the limits of our cages? So 3, 5, 7. 3, 5 have to be made with a 2-cell cage, because the second you go up to a 3-cell cage, 1, 2, 3 is 6, and actually 7 has to be made up of a 1, 2, 4 cage. So 3 and 5 are these two cages here. 3 and 5 are these two cages here. 7 will definitely have to be one of these 3-cell cages. 11 and 13 definitely have to be another 2 of the 3-cell cages. 17 could be a 5-cell cage. It could be a 3-cell cage. 19 could be a 5 or a 3-cell cage. 23 could be a 3 or a 5-cell cage. All right. So I don't think we have a lot of, or I think at the lower values, we don't have a lot of options, but as we get higher, we are less restricted. So right now we should consider 3, 5, because those have to go in these two cages, and then 7, 11, and 13 have to go into 3 out of the 4 3-cell cages. We have, or sorry, 1, 2, we have 4 5-cell cages. 4 5-cell cages, we have 1, 7, and then 2, 8. 1, 7, and 2, 8. And actually 2, 8, the 8 cages will also be restricted because you can only ever remove one digit from them, which means 45 minus 9, our maximum leaves us with 36, and then 45 minus 1 is 44. So anything between 36 and 44, which is our 37, our 41, and our 43 cages, or sorry, our 37, our 41, and our 43 numbers will be in the 8-cell cages. So these 8-cell cages are limited to 37, 41, or 43, which actually tells us something about the cell in the center. So 43 is minus 2, 43 is minus 2, 41 is minus 4, and 37 is minus 8. So 2, 4, 8, where this Can't be 8 because how could you have 4 digits greater than? So, this is the minimum of these cells, or sorry, is going to be less than these 4 cells. I think I said it's the minimum of the 4 cells earlier. Hopefully, you guys understood what I meant there. This is just saying that, it's just like a lesser than symbol. We have our little carets here that say that this will be less than these cells. And I cannot think of 4 normal Sudoku digits that are greater than 8. So I think we can safely assume that that's not going to happen. This cell isn't as equally restricted, and this here can remove up to 17 with 8 and 9, or as little as 3 with 1 and 2. So as little as 3 means actually this cannot be the 43 cage. It means that at the minimum it has to be the 41, or at maximum it has to be the 41 cage, but being able to remove 17 means you can go, or yes, 17 means you can go as low as 28, which means it could be the 29, the 31, or the 37 cage additionally. All right. So the 43 cage has to be, so one of these two has to be the 43 cage, which means one of these two has to have 2 in the center. One of these has to have 2 in the center. And then 37. All right, we have options from there. All right. So definitely one of these has to be 2. But other than that, it's like a fight between the 7 and the leftover 8 cage for the 41. And 41 would be, from the 7 cage, would be taking out 1 and 3 from it. And then the 41 8 cage would be taking 4 out of it. So 4 would be in the center. Oh, I'm being silly because I just realized I should have been paying more attention to the 2 cell cages and have gone distracted, because one of these 2 cell cages definitely has to be 3. Either 2 cell cage being 3 yields us with 2, 1. So if this was the 3, this would be 2, 1. If this was the 3, this would be 2, 1. In either case, this can't be 2. So this is 4. This is 2, which means this is in fact the 37 cage, which is... Oh wait, no. That doesn't mean that doesn't have to be the 37 cage then. Sorry. Oh wait, no, it does. Because the maximum of a 5 cell cage is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is 35. So actually, this does have to be the 37 cage. I said that in error, but that's actually correct. So it does have to be the 37 cage, which means we need to remove 8 from it. Which I guess means 4 always exists in the cage, and so does 8 and 9. I don't think you can get around that. But other than that, you could be removing 1, 7, you could be removing 2, 6, or you could be removing 3, 5 to make the 37 count. But what I do know is, let me mark off 41 and 43 and 37. So we've actually done all of our 40s. We have no more 40s to consider because these cells here will be our 40s. This will be the 43. This will be the 41. This will be our 37, which means we still need to make 31, which definitely has to come from one of these 5 cell cages, because the maximum of a 3 cell cage is 24. But from there, again, it's a fight between, well, I guess, sorry, one of these has to be 31, the other has to be 29, and then it's a fight between the last 2 5 cell cages for the digits 23, 19, and 17, because 23, 19, and 17 can be made with a 5-cell cage or a 3-cell cage. All right. If this is 3, it's 2, 1. If this is 3, then this would have to be 5, which would make it, oh, it can't be 1, 4, so it would have to be 2, 3. If, oh, well, then the same thing is true because of the 4. This would have to be 2, 1 if this was 3, and this would have to be 2, 3 because it can't be 1, 4, which means this is always 2, and then we have a 1, 3 pair here. I won't mark off the 3, 5 yet because I want to make sure that these are actually, you know what, even better, I will mark it off. I will color code them so I remember that they're linked. Um, and no, I didn't, these have to be different digits. They can't be the same digit, but I will mark them off now so I don't need to think about 3 and 5 anymore. 7 needs to be 1, 2, 4, and we have a few 2s in the grid. So it actually makes this 2. It makes this 1, 4, which means this can't be 4, and this can't be 4. Which almost makes me think that, well, this cage could still have 2, 6 in it. So it doesn't necessarily mean that 2, 6 are removed. Though 2s are going to be quite helpful. Maybe. All right. All right, so that's our 7 cage done. So we have done all of our zeros, all of our single digit numbers. So now it's 11, 13. 11 and 13 need to be made. They have to be made from one of these 3-cell cages, or two of the three-cell cages. And then the other one will be left up to us to determine. But 2, 4 is quite limiting. 2, 4 is quite limiting. How do we actually work with that? So, oh, actually, that's really easy, isn't it? Oh, well, sorry. 2, 4. I was going to say 1, 3, 5 is fine because that would only be 9. However, you can't have 1 and 3 together because of this 1, 3 here. So it couldn't be 1, 3, 5. It could be 1, 5, 6, which is 12. Oh, wait. So the minimum that we can make this is 1, 5, 6. Otherwise, the minimum, if this is 1, would be 3, 5, 6. And 3, 5, 6 is... Sorry. Does that make sense? 14? If this is 3, 2, 3, then the minimum is 1, 5, 6. That's certainly 12, which means that neither of these can be the 11 cage because their minimum is too big, which means this has to be the 11 cage. 11 without using 2 is 3, 4, 5 is 12, so that doesn't work. So it has to use 1, which means we need to make 10 in 2 digits. We can't do 1, 9, we can't do 2, 8, we can't do 4, 6 because of the 1, 4 pair, which means this is 3, 7. Which doesn't necessarily mean that this can't contain 3, 7, because you could, actually it would almost make sense to have 3, 7 here, which means we still don't know what the 10 is that we're going to pull out from here. Wait. Have I been saying 10? I think I meant to say 8. 2, 6. Yeah, I was thinking about 2, 6 before. I don't know where 10 came from. I think it's because I just did this 3, 7 here. And actually, that's funny because 3, if this is 3, this would have to be 4 because it couldn't be 2. And if this was 7, it could be 8 or it could be 6. So this additionally has the possible value of 6, but I don't want to mark it because I don't know that 6 goes in this cage. So 3 and 7 both 100% will be allowed to work because we need a 4, 8, 9 somewhere in here. 1, oh, 1, sorry, 1 gives us 3, 3 gives us 1, so we can get rid of our color coding. 3, 1. So we've done our 11 cage. Let me mark that off because I did not do that. And we still need to make a 13 cage. One of these two needs to be 13. 157, because 156 is 12, 157 would be 13, but this is too big because we already said 356 is 14. So this has to be the 13 cage. It needs to be exactly 1, 5, and 7 to make 13. And then then it's the fight that I was talking about. So now it's a fight between the 3-cell cages and the 5-cell cages for the values 17, 19, and 23. 23 is really easy to make. 6, 8, 9. That's a type of maximum for a 3-cell cage. 19 19 has options. I'm not exactly sure what like one solid way to build that would be. 17 also has options because again the minimum. Well, actually, didn't I say that the minimum here? Well, the minimum here is 14. So 14 is still well below 17. 3 below means that we have a lot of ways that we can kind of mess with those digits to, excuse me, make it work for us. 2. Have a lot of 2s. Have a couple 1s. We have a couple 4s. 2. We already said if 2 went in here, then you need 2, 6 because the 8 pair is what you need to pull out. Actually, 1, 2 is interesting. Maybe not. 1, 2. 17, 19, 23. And 31 has a lot of options. So, like I said, 29 and 30 and 37, or 31, definitely have to be a 5-cell cage. But, oh well, maybe this is what we need to think about. How do we make 17 in a 5-cell cage? So 17 in a 3-cell cage isn't too limiting, but 17 in a 5-cell cage is almost exactly the minimum. And I'm also realizing that with all these 2s around the grid, it's going to really limit us because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is our true minimum, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 is our, not really true minimum, but pretty close, right? It is one above our minimum. So 17, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. We could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. We could do 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. So those are our options. We only have 2 options. So to make 17 in 5 digits, if we have to make it in 5 digits, will 100% require 1, 2, 3, and some mixture of either 5, 6, right? Because 1, 2, 3 is 6, so you need to make 11 in 2 digits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. So always it requires 1, 2, 3. So this cannot be 17. This cannot be 17 because of the 1, 2. 1 says that 1 can never exist in here. So this couldn't be the 17, and this cannot ever have 2 in it. So we actually do know that this 3-cell cage here has to be the 17. I was thinking about it in the wrong direction. I was thinking about 17 in the 3-cell cage instead of 17 in the 5-cell cage, and that has given it to us. So this needs to be 17 in 3 digits. If we don't use 3, then it would be 5, 6, 7, and that's 18. So it definitely needs 3. It definitely needs 3. And then from there, to make 17, we need 14. 14 in two digits will either be 6, 8, 5, 7. Wait, sorry, what did I say? 14. 6, 8, 5, 9. Sorry. 5, 7. I don't know what I was thinking. 6, 8, 5, 9. So definitely it requires 3, and then it's one of, and maybe we should do it this way. 3, definitely 3, and it's either 3, what did I say? 5, 9 to make 14, or 3, 6, 8 to make 14. 3, 5, 9. 6, 8. So 17 we can mark off. So now it's actually just our 5-cell cages. So the 5-cell cages have to be, they have to be 19, 23, 29, and 31. Exactly. There's no wiggle room there. So with no wiggle room, what does that actually do for us? 19, 23. And see, now the problem is 17 in a 5-cell cage would have been perfect because we knew it only had two options. But now 19 is two more than that, which means we have even more combinations of ways that we can mix that about. And I'd like to think that Fool on Hill isn't going to try to make us think of every single possible combination. Uh, but I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure. I'm looking down here because I was thinking across about these digits here. And the digits here are 6, 8, and 9. 6, 8, and 9 are all less than, or all greater than 4. So there's no, like, there's nothing that can, like, tell me what this digit is here. Though, with that said, 1, 2, and 3 definitely have to appear on the corners because, which actually means this can't be 1, um, because none of them are greater than 4. Because we don't know what the order is here, this is either, well, I guess 7 is always outside, but this is either 7, 5, 9 or 7 with 6, 8. Just whatever isn't used in the cage. So 7, 5, 9, 7, 6, 8 isn't limiting in any sense. So, and one high digit that is greater than 4 has to go here, because if this was 5, that would be really helpful, because then we would know that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 6, 7, 8, 9. Just like our German whisper, we would split into lows and highs, but it doesn't work in this case. I guess if this is 2, it couldn't be 3. So if this was 2, then it would be 1. If it was 3, it couldn't be 2, so it would be 4. So if we assign a high digit to one of these other corners, then we would know that this is limited to 2 or 3, and we'd have a 1-4 pair, but outside of that, it doesn't actually do anything for us at this point in time because we don't know that this has to be 2, 3. For all we know, this could be like 9, and this would be 8. It's got to be something with this. 19, 23, 29, 31. I can keep saying those, but I don't think that's going to help. All right, let's think about 31. So I know that 35 is a maximum, so 34 is another type of maximum. It'll be 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. But we can go as low as 3 more lower. So it could be 1, 6, 7, 8, 9. It could be you subtract 2 then 1. So 2, 5, 7, 8, 9. It could be Actually, are those the only two options? Wait, that doesn't make sense. Remove the 4, 1. So 1, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you add 1, then it would be 2, 5, 7, 8, 9. 24 and 7 is 31. 2, 5, 7, 8, 9. 3, 4. Okay, I forgot 3, 4. So add 1, subtract 1 would leave us with 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. Sorry, I guess the easy way to think about that was exactly what I said here. 24 plus 7. So we're missing 7. We have to make it up with 1, 6, 3, 4, or 2, 5. Though we have more options because the 2, 5 lets us do 3, 5, 6, 8, 9. So that's not even fully limited still. And you could have 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, where you add 1 to 3 and you subtract 1 from 8. So this is very unlimited. Oh, and even you subtract or you no, okay. I guess these are probably like the 5 options. So I guess no matter what, a 31 cage requires 9 in it, but that's all I've learned and that's like not helpful at all. Let's do that with the 19 cage. So we know that 16 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, but we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 as our most limiting case. 1, 2, 3, 4 adds up to 10. Oh, wait, sorry, we're doing 19, not 17. Gosh darn it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. In the same vein, 1, 2, 3, so we can go with just 1, 2, 3. We can add 1, subtract 1. 5, 8. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. 6, 7. Yeah, and we're just going to build out all sorts of options here. I guess, the easy question is, does it always require a 1? Because if it always requires a 1, then that will give us slightly more information. Because like this cage can't contain a 1, this cage can't contain a 1, this cage can only contain a 1 exactly here, and this cage can contain a 1 here or here. But if this is 1, this would be 2. So actually this can only contain a 1 here. So our only options are ones here. So only these two cages could be 19 cages, but that's only if, and I think it is, because 2, yeah, sorry, the easy way to do that, 1 to 6 is what? 21 minus 1, 2 to 6 is 20. So we do in fact need a 1 in a 19 cage, which means one of these two is the 19 cage with 1 here. Then the question is, can we eliminate 1 from either of these cages so we could know for a fact which one is the 19 cage? This is 1, 1 goes somewhere here. We already know 1 goes somewhere up here. Excuse me, if 1 goes here. Actually, that would force 1 here, so let's look at the forcing line. This would be 1. All right, that wasn't as much of a forcing line as I thought. Nineteen, 23, 29, 31. So 31 we saw has like a ton of options, but they all seem to require 9. In the same way, the way we could think about that is 8765 or 987654 is 39, minusing 9 is 30. So it's not high enough. So a 5 cell cage without a 9 can never be high enough. I almost wish that one of these had to be the 689 because at least that would be again a limiting case. 368, 359. Why do one of those work while the other one doesn't? I don't know. Why are one of these the 19 cage while the other one isn't? 1 6 is still okay. That's only 7. 7, now we need to make 12 in 3 digits. Oh, well, actually, maybe that says that this can't be that because I'm realizing with the 2 or 3 we're limited. So 1, so 4, 5, 6, 7, because of the 2, 3, this can't be the 19 cage, can it? That means this has to be the 19 cage. Let me think about it. Without 2, 3, if this is the 1, then it would be 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 5, 6, 7, if I can do math, is 22. So with 1 is 23. So that actually could be a way to make the 23 cage here. But what it does tell us is that it can't be the 19 any longer. So this has to be 1, which means this can't be 1 here. This couldn't be 2 because if it were 2, it would have to be 1, which means if this is a low digit, it will have to be 3, 4. Doesn't necessarily mean this can't be 1. And actually, if I think about it, this is the only place 1 can go in this box, which I don't know why it took me so long to realize that, which does place 1 there. So no matter what, this was in fact 1, but it isn't the 19 cage 1. It does tell us that this has to be 19. So 19 is now 18 without using 2. Without using 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is 18. And 18, so it has to be 3, 4, 5, 6. Look at that. That makes this 7, this 3, and now we're opening up. This cannot be 4. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. It leaves us with an 8, 9 pair. 17, sorry, not 17. 19 can be marked off my list. Now we're thinking about 23, 29, and 31. 23, 29, 31. If we minimize, like I said, this does exactly equal 23. However, we don't need to minimize, though can we minimize in the other cages? So we can't use 1 in any of the other cages. And actually, can we just do some Sudoku work with 1? No. All right, we can't do Sudoku work with 1, but 1, 2, 3. This can't be 1. So the best you can do is 2, 3. So 2, 3. Oh, but 2, 3. 2, it would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in some order. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like we've already said, only adds up to 20. So we definitely have room to play around there. Can't have 1 or 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is 28 minus 3 or 25. So at a minimum, this can't be the 23 cage. This can only be the 29 or the 31 cage. So what that says is one of these two has to be the 23 cage. I think I did the math right. Yeah, 25. 25 is the minimum if you can't use 1 or 2. Oh, 2. 2 by Sudoku goes here, which places 2 there. Which yields us either 2 here or 2 here, which will resolve with our x-wing of 2's. I don't know if I want to mark that, though. Didn't realize that until I was looking at 2's again. So actually I should corner mark 3's here. I shouldn't have, I realized I accidentally deleted that entirely, but this is definitely from the set 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll pencil mark it. This is definitely 8, 9. This is 6, 8, 9. So all we need is one more 8, 9 something or other, and we're set. I've only used this consecutive dot here. Okay, wow. I've only used this consecutive dot here and then realizes immediately that this consecutive dot is 100% usable. 4 tells us that 4 has to go here or here. Okay. See, after I said that, now I want to look at all the consecutive dots to see if I've missed something. Four going here or here. Yeah. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let me double check. 22, 23. 23 is still an option. That would leave us with 8, 9. That would make this 7. This would be 8. This would be 9. 9 is required for the 31 cage, so this could be the 31 cage, and this needs to be at least 25, so this could be the 29 cage. Otherwise, we still, unless I've done something wrong with my math, this still has the option to be the 23 cage. And then, well, can you make 31 with 1 here? So maybe it's really a fight between these two cages to claim 31. So 1 means we need to make 30. 30 is actually really easy. It's 6, 7, 8, 9. It's our maximum. So if this was a 6, 7, 8, 9, then this would have to be 6, 5 with 4 here. So we know what it looks like on the low end. We know what it looks like on the high end. Both of those are limiting. They are maximums and minimums, given the 1 already in place. But 29 is our in-between. But if this is 29, then this would have to be 31, and this would have to be 23. Can this ever be 23? So 1, 2, 3. This can't be 1. So I think we already did this. Then we say 2, 3, 4, right? It's 9. And then 5, 6 is 20. So yeah, we have the ability to make this 23, 29, or 31. There's got to be something grand that I'm missing. Excuse me. 7, 5, 6, 8, 9. Let's do it. 5, 6, 8, 9. 9 will yield us 8. 8 would yield us 7 or 9. 6 would yield us 7 or 5. A lot of options here. and 5 would lead us would yield us 4 or 6. So not very limiting. In the same way, we can essentially just copy paste that down. We can just remove 4 though as an option. 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, and then this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So depending on which digit we decide to kick out of this, or digits, I guess, gives us just gives us everything that we need. But 4 down here means that this is from the set 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 means that all of this is from the set 5, 6, 8, 9. So maybe we need to think about our 37 again. Get some of these digits to maybe limit us here and here. So 5, 6, 8, 9 is in fact a quadruple. 5, 6, 8, 9, it makes sense because we're only missing 4. So 5, 6, 8, 9 with 4, we should be able to do the math. 6, 8, 9 is 23. 23 plus 9 is 32. 32 to get to 37. Oh wait, we already... Oh no, sorry, I was thinking about this. We need 5. So 5 either needs 1, 4, or 2, 3. I think it has to be 2, 3 if I know how to do math, which I should have done this math a long time ago. Let's double check real quick. 6, 8, 9 is 23. 23, 28, 32, 35, or wait, 32, 35, 37. Yes. So this is exactly what we were missing. 2 gives us 2 here. We actually have all of our 2's now. 3's, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. Because this is 8 or 9, 5, 6. So I can remove, sorry, 8, 9 from here. 8, 9 from here. That means this is always 5, 6, which means at a minimum, this has to be 7, 8, or 9. I was hoping I would be able to place like 1 or something, but not quite. 4 definitely has to go somewhere there, which means this can't be 4. Wait, sorry. No, 4 doesn't definitely have to go somewhere there. I was saying that because I didn't realize this was 4. And of course, yeah, if I say 4 has to go there, then 4 has to go here. But that's not true. This could be 4, and this could be a 1, 4 pair. Oh, I feel, once again, I feel like I'm so close here. Oh, 1, 4, sorry. This can't be 4. I somehow said 1, 4 says this can't be 4, but I didn't. Or no, it was 4 can't be 4 here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which are just all the remaining digits. Might as well mark it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Double check the 1, make sure I didn't miss anything, but I don't think I have missed anything with the 1's or the 2's. And this could still be 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. It could still be 4, 5, 6, 7. We're fine there. Unless I'm doing math wrong, I'll double check again. 4, 5, 6, 7 is 22 plus 1 is 23. So 23, 29, 31 we still haven't figured out somehow. Three with 4. 4 would make this, 1 would make this 4. I don't know why one of those is better than the other. 4 would make this 3. 3 would say 3 has to go in here. I guess that's the question, really, is what we should be thinking about. We know now that 2, I'm realizing I've missed this. 2 can no longer go in here. 1 can no longer go in here. If we said this was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then that is 30, right? So we don't use 9 here. All right, that doesn't, never mind. That doesn't do what I thought it would do. Well, sorry, 4 definitely has to go in the cage here. No matter what, whether the 4 is here or the 4 is here, 4 will go in this cage. Let's say this was 3, then if 3 and 4 went in the cage, 3, 4 with 7, 8, 9, which would be our maximum. So 7, 8, 9 is 24, um, plus 7 is 31, means that we still have full range possible, which is quite disappointing. Seven, eight, nine, 5, 6, 5, 6, 4. Maybe there's something that I'm missing with that, but I feel like there's way too much pencil marking here, but I'm struggling to get through the 23, 29, and 31. And as usual, I'm worried that there's something off with my math. Like I just can't figure out how to add properly. And that's very possible. 1, 2 is quite limiting here. But we could still have like a 3, 4 pair here. And we already know that 3, 4, 7, 8, 9 is 31. I guess 3, 4 here, maybe that's what I'm not considering. 3, 4 here forces a 3, 4 pair here. And that's not possible. Wow. 3 here, right, says that this would have to be 1 less or 1 more. It can't be 2, it would have to be 4. 3, 4 says that this would have to be a 3, 4 pair, but it can't be because of the 3, 4 here, which means this can't be 3, this has to be 3. That is a 3 in the corner. It tells us that this has to be 3 and 4, which means what? So 3, 4 can still yield us our maximum, so it actually doesn't limit us. It can still be 31. It can almost certainly be 29 and 23 as well. Like if I say this is 5, 6, 7 instead, that should be 18. 18. Oh, that's our minimum, right? 5, 6, 7, 18. 18 plus 7 is 25. So actually, this can't be 23 any longer. And I think we said this can't be 23 any longer either, can it? One second. We might have figured it out. We might have figured it out. if we minimize 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. So that's the minimum we can do. 3, 4, 5 is 12. 7, 8 is 15. That's 27. This can never be 23. This can never be 23, I think. Let me double check to make sure. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7 is 18. 18 plus 7. All right. This is 25. We have done it. This must be 4. That means this must be 5, 6, 7. This is the only place for 6 to go. Actually, we already knew that if this was 5, 6, 7, this would have to be 5. This would have to be 7. This would have to be 8. This would have to be 9. This can't be 7. This can't be 6. 5, 8, 9. 5, 8, 9. Can probably remove our corner markings at this point. And what that does for us, it should do a lot. 9 gets pulled out of here. 8 gets pulled out of here. And 5 also gets pulled out of here. I should do that. 6, 9 pair. 6 yields 5. How do you get 6 here? You can't. How do you get 7 here? You can't any longer. 9 yields 8. 6 could yield 5 or 7. Sorry, you can't have 7 here. 5, 7. But with 9 here, I should be able to do some math because 3, 4 pair is in fact 7. Sorry, I should, for consistency's sake, let me mark off my 23. So we just have 29 and 31 left to do, and I'm assuming this is going to be some sort of restrictive number here because 3, 4, 9 is 16. 16, maybe not. Maybe not. We can still make 29 pretty easily because we only need 13 and 6, 7 and 5, 8 actually both yield us sorry, let me double check. 6, 7 would make this 9, 8, 5. Looks okay. 5, 8 would make this 7, 6, 9. So I guess this can never be 8, can it? If it's 6, 7, it's probably not helpful at all. 6, 7, 9, 8. This can't be 8. And obviously 5, 8 says this can't be 8. So not what I was hoping for. We do need to still place what? Oh, this can't be 5. We still need to place 6. Oh, there we go. 6, 8, 9. This must be 8, 9. So this must be 6. 8, 9. Tells us that this must be 7. 7, 5, 9, 6, 8. If it's 6, 8, 5, 9. If it's 5, 9, 8, 6. So 1 second. 5, 6, or 5, 9 yields us with 8, 6. 8, 6. 6, 8 yields us with 9, 5. So this is actually a little bit more limited. Well, I should have been able to do that with from 7, 8. 7, 8, 5, 6. This is a 5, 6 pair. This can no longer be 6, which we already knew. See, I'm trying to do work that I really don't need to be doing here. 8, 9 pair, though. 8, 9 pair now limits us because if this is 3, 4, that's 7. 7 plus 17 is 24. Oh, but this could be 5, can't it? This could still be 5 to make 29. Hmm. 5, 4, 6. 6 is 5, 7. 5, 6, 8, 9. 5, 6, 8, 9 leaves us with 1, 3, 4, 5. 1, 3, no, not 4, 5. 1, 3, 4, 7. 1, 3, 4, 7. This cannot, neither of these can be 1. This can't be 3. 7. Guess that means 8 and 9 appear somewhere here. Just, it's just on the tip of my tongue here. 8, 9. This can't be 8, 9, which means this must be the other 8, 9. So if this is 8, this is 9. If this is 9, this is 8. Which actually says something about a relationship between these chunks here, which should make sense, right? Because if this is 9, this is 9, 8, 9, 8, 9, 8, and that came from this being 9. So these are all kind of interconnected here. There has to be consecutive I'm not considering. Is it like here? Is it as simple as just looking across here? Oh, 3, sorry. This can't be 3. Not that I think that helps that much, but if we minimize, well, we already said 3, 4 with 8, 9 is 24. So we can still place 5 here. This would be forced to be 7 because this would have to be 6. Hmm. One has to go somewhere here because it can't be 1, 2. We've already used 2. 3 has to go somewhere here. 3 would go with 4, and we'd have a 3, 4 X-Wing staring up the grid. Is there a problem with that, maybe? This would be a 3, 4 pair? I don't see a problem. Not immediately, anyways. Hmm. Past an hour here. I feel like I made some really good connections in the grid, but I just can't figure out the 29 versus 31 thing. All right, 16. If we're making 29, we need 13. I guess can we make this 31? We should be able to, right? 3, 4, and then just make sure that this is 7, 8. Yeah, it would have to be 7, 8. I guess can it be 7, 8? Yeah, why not? 7, 8, 5. Oh, wait. 7, 8, 5. No, that's fine. 5, 6, 9. 8, 9, 5, 6. I need one of them to break. I guess I can pencil mark the minimums here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Actually, it's the same here. Just completely across. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Where neither of these can be 8, 9. 8, 9 is pretty useless as a corner mark now. Seventeen. And then 12, like we said, has to be 3, 4, 5. So what's the piece that I'm missing? 1, 2, 3. We'll go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's either 5, 9 or 6, 8. I'm like completely stuck. I pencil mark pretty much everything except for the center box, which maybe it's the center box with these consecutives that I'm not considering, but these sums have got to do something for us. Three, four. I don't immediately see problems, so I'm not going to dig too deep. 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8. 1. All right, 5, 6. All right, 6, 7. 7, 8. And 8, 9. I don't see problems. And this will be even less limited, I think. Let's throw it down. This is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Pretty crazy. That's some pretty crazy pencil marking. And I don't get any insights from that. Almost 5, 6, 7, I was realizing, but we've already looked at if this is 3, 4, this has to be 5, right? This has to be 5, this has to be 6. It would have to be, it couldn't be 5, 6, it would have to be 5, 4, which is fine because 4 is over here anyways. Three, 4 in here makes this 1, 7. And everything looks fine. 6, 8, 9. All right, let's just continue with this. In this world, this is 6, this is 5, this is 4. 5 makes this 6. 6 means this is 3, 5, 9. Yeah, I'm just not seeing what that does. In the 7/8 version, 5, 6, 9, 9. This is 9. This is 9. This would be 8, so one of these two would have to be 9. And that's fine. Hmm. 5, 8, 9. Makes this 6, this 9. 9 would make this 8. Is it about the interaction here? Because that's the only interaction that I've only like really briefly looked at, right? Unless, again, there's something I've messed up with the sums. Hmm. This is 9, 8. This has to be 5 or 6. If it's 5, then this will be 6, 7 with 4. If it's 6, then this will be 4, 5 with 7. That's in the case of this is 9, 8. If it's 6, 6, 7. Maybe I should do the lower version. 6, 5 yields or leaves us with 8 or 9. it would have to be 7, 8, 9. 6, 7 lets us do 8, 9, 5, 4, 5, 8, 9. None of those are bad, at least from a cursory glance. I guess 6 should be removed from all of these up the line. All right, let's just look at Sudoku. 1. Can we do anything with 1? Did I forget to remove options for a 1? I don't think so. 2s are done. 3s. All right, it doesn't seem so. 4s. Well, I guess one thing we know is specifically because of the little X-wing of 4s here, 4 definitely has to go in one of these cells. So maybe that's what I need to be thinking about. Oh my goodness, does 4 have to go here? If this is 4, 5, if this is 4, 5, then no. No. 4, 5, I think we already said this was okay because 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8, 9. 4, 5, 8, 9, 6, 7. Or 6, 7, I guess specifically. Hmm. All right, we don't have like any 5s. Yeah, only one 5. 6s. 6. I guess one thing I wasn't thinking about if is this is 6, then this would have to be 6, and then the 6 would have to be exactly here. And the second that this is 6, says it can no longer be 29, because 29 requires 3, 4, 5. So 6 here would force 31. 6 with... Oh, is that not possible then? Is that what this is? This can't be... This can't ever be the 6 version? Let's make sure. 8, 9 is 17. Plus 6 is 23. To make 31, how do you make 12? Or no, it's not 12, sorry, it's 9. I don't think it's possible. Give me a second. 6 makes this 6. Forces 6 here. 6 with 8, 9 is 23. Oh no, it's not 9. It's 8. But either way, it's not possible. It is not possible. So this cannot be the 6 version. There's probably a better way to do that. But this can't be the 6 version, which means this is 5. Oh no, sorry. Which means that this is 6. This is 5. 5 says this has to be 4 or 6. Sorry, 3, 8. 3, 5, 9 leaves us with 8 here. That makes this 9. 9 makes this 8. 8. 8, 9, 9, 8, 9. 9, 9, 8. And I think we're opening up here. Hopefully that's correct. 6, I said this can't be 6. So if this can't be 6, I guess which was the easy way to think about this. Could this ever have been 6? The answer is no. So this must be 4. That says this has to be 4. It says 1, 3, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 1, 4, 1. We'll go in one of these two squares. 8. This can't be 8. 3, 5, 9, sorry. 6, 7. Where does 5 go? 5 has to go here. If this is 5, then we're left with this. And now let's consider this. This is 9, 9 plus 17, which is 26. Which says yes. Wait. No, this doesn't work. What have I done? (26) to get to 31 is only 5. Wait, no, I can't do math. Didn't I say that 3, 4, 5 with 8, 9 works? So what am I doing? 8, 9 is 17, right? 4, 5 is 9. That's 26. Plus 3. That's the problem. I was looking only at the 7 for some reason. 26 plus 3 is 29. It would need another 5 to get to 31, which means this is the 29 cage, which means we have done our 20s. Wow. Whew. Clearly, I'm a little tired after almost 80 minutes here. That means our last cage here is the 31 cage. If it's the 31 cage, then I think that means this has to be 7, 8. Let's double check. 7, 9 is 16. 16 to get to 31 is in fact 15, which means this is 7, this is 8, this is 5, this is 6, this is 9, and it's all coming together. 5, 9, 6. This can't be 3. 3, 6, 7. 6. Can't go here. 3, 4, 5. Remove 5 and 7 as options. 5, 9. 9, 3, 5. 6, 7. 6, 7. 6 has to go here. So this must be either 6, 5 or 6, 7. Can't be 6, 7, so it must be 5, 6. 5, 6 gives us 3. 3 gives us 5. We're still missing 9. This can't be 9. This can't be 5. It can't be 6. Which means now, which is probably what we needed to consider at this point in time, not before, this must be 4. This must be 7, 8. That leaves us with 1 and 3. That still needs to be resolved, but it should all just be Sudoku at this point because we have crossed off every single one of our prime cages. So now, what is the bit of Sudoku that I am missing? 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 5, 3, 4, 3, 1, 3. Done our 3s. 1. Not quite done our 1s. 1, 5, 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 7. 7, actually, we just know the order 1, 5. If I can place that. This is 1, this is 7. 7, 8, 7. 6, 9, 8. 8, 9, 6. And to finish us off, we need 9 and 8. And we are done. 80 minutes and 58 seconds with unique primality by Fool on Hill. So I don't think, like, yes, this was a challenging puzzle, but I think I made that a little bit harder than it really needed to be. There were a lot of places where I could have taken shortcuts, even something as simple as, looking at this cage and realizing that 6 could never be in the cage with the 8, 9 because there were no other possibilities would have saved us a bit of time there. So hopefully you tried this one for yourself. But yeah. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching.